Welcome to Relationship Matters. I'm your host, Dr. Darlene Williams-Prades. Let's talk about something every relationship faces: conflict. Today's topic is turning conflict into connection, skills that strengthen relationships. Now, because something is broken doesn't mean it can't be fixed. Not because love is missing, because people are involved. No, sometimes conflict shows up in marriages, families, workplace, ministries, even leadership spaces. The real question is not if conflict will come, but how we respond when it does. I'm going to take it from a place of scripture that reminds us very clearly: a gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. This tells us that something powerful is going to happen if we send something aggressive towards the situation. Conflict doesn't explode because of the issue, it escalates because of the tone, timing, and intention. And when we learn to manage conflict wisely, we don't just protect relationships, we strengthen them. Now, conflict resolution is not about avoiding hard conversations or keeping the peace at all costs. No, silence is not peace, it's pressure. And healthy conflict resolution means addressing the root, not the surface. We want to create a situation of understanding, but not control. And we want to build solutions. We want to build a strong home of solutions. So there is no resentment. In the workplace, unresolved conflict kills morale and productivity. In a relationship, it erodes trust and emotional safety. But I'm sure you all knew that. When people feel heard and they feel valued, collaboration increases, intimacy deepens, and the actual healing really begins. Look, I know that it's hard being in a relationship, no matter what kind it is, whether it's with your siblings or your works people or your spouse or a friend or someone at your church. But we just need to pause. Let's just pause and ask yourself, just reflect with no judgment. How would it feel if, when conflict arises in your life, do you tend to shut down, explode, or lean in with curiosity as to the why? You see, the scripture says, be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. But a lot of the time, that's not what happens. That's not just passive behavior. That's disciplined leadership at its finest. You see, it gives you the rules right up front. You need to listen to understand. That's why it says be slow to speak. So then when you respond with the understanding of, I heard exactly what this was. Is this exactly what you mean? And then when you respond to that person, it's not in anger, it's in definition, it's in intention. Listening first changes everything. It lowers defenses, it opens spaces, it allows truth to really surface. Because if you go in with your shield up and your sword out, your mouth, you're never going to get to the root of the problem. And we want to do that, right? And ask yourself this question: do I listen to understand, or do I listen to prepare my response as if I'm in court? Because understand, there has to be practical strategies for healthy conflict resolution. And let me make that clear: practical. That means active listening. Listening, not waiting to turn your mouth on like an engine to a car, but being 100% present, 100% quiet, and you're listening to understand. You're having restraint. You're showing respect, and you're showing presence. You're there. The second thing is you need to stay calm and composed. When emotions run high, wisdom steps in the back, it sits down, and it just waits. You need to let wisdom step in, take over the tone of your voice and how you react. Your tone can either invite healing or it can shut the door completely. And that third thing, use I statements. I feel concerned when deadlines are missed versus, you know what, we missed a deadline because of you. You never do what you're supposed to do, and that's why we missed this deadline. Because what you just broke off into was accusatory tone. And what that person just went to is, so you're blaming me and I'm not listening to you anymore. You want to have open dialogue, because the other one, it triggers defense, like being on the football field. And stay focused. Focus on the issue, not the person. What's the conflict about? What's the situation about? Not that person's character and how you can assassinate it. And look for common ground. What can you agree on? Not what can you agree to disagree on. What can you agree on? You don't need 100% agreement on everything to move forward. You just need one shared intention. So ask yourself this question: do your words during conflict invite resolution or escalation? Do you shut down or do you lean in? Because there's 5 core skills for conflict resolution. 5. If you want to master, if you want to avoid conflict, the mastery is simple: no avoidance. Communicate clear, honest, respectful, concise, with intention, speaking and listening in both matters. Emotional intelligence, recognizing your emotional triggers and choosing not to be ruled by them. Problem solving, asking versus assuming versus just kind of going out there and going in your head, oh, this must be what this is. No, ask the question so that you'll know what solution honors everyone involved in that situation. Look for a way to negotiate, like a healthy compromise. That is not a weakness. Trust me, it's wisdom. It's wisdom when you can find compromise. You can find amenable territory to land on. And somebody, not just you, but everybody walks away sated. And have some patience. Conflict resolution is a process. It is not you running towards a solution that makes you feel better or you vindicated or you whatever, put the dots there. Rush solutions are rarely lasting. Rarely. The scripture said, if it is possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone. Simply put, we are responsible for our posture, our efforts, and our obedience, even when outcomes are uncertain. You can't make everything go your way. That's not realistic. That's not reality. And that's not real life. So, while we reflect on all of that, think about this. What emotion do you struggle to regulate most during your conflict? Is it anger? Is it pride? Is it fear? Is it defensiveness? Is it your past? Growth requires practice. So you need to practice those things like empathy and see through the lens of the other person. Set ground rules and respect, not interrupt that person every time they start talking because you've already set your answers in your head like a Rolodex, and they may be the wrong answers to the wrong questions. Take breaks when emotions get too high because there are things you may say that you will regret forever. And don't do a follow up. Like, make sure that this is really resolved and the resolution lasts. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes, you need to seek help. You need to get a mediator, an advocate who can hear what's being said and interpret it back to you. Because sometimes wisdom looks like inviting a neutral voice, a neutral party into a situation. It's not a fail. That is an epic, mature win. That's what that is. That's maturity. Knowing when you can't resolve your own issues. Ask yourself, what do I need to have to be courageous, to be respectful, and to have a respectful conversation this week with somebody that I need to have a conversation with? Build a culture that handles conflict well at your job, in your home, in your relationships with your siblings, your spouse, your friends. Because whether at home or in leadership, culture is shaped from the top. Leaders model respect, accountability, and emotional regulation. They create safe environments where people can come to speak honestly and grow together. And there's a leader in your home right below God. And if they can't get that accomplished, then there needs to be work done. And there's training tools. Don't just reduce the conflict to, okay, well, they'll never understand what I'm saying, or they don't see me, or they don't hear me, because that is a cop out. The training and the tools reduce the conflict. They help you transform your relationship and the systems that go with that relationship. Conflicts have tools for growth, not always diminishing a person, but helping them grow. When you're grounding yourself in truth, it helps you. Honesty, openness, reflectiveness, listening. Let all that you do be done in love. All that you do. Love is not about avoidance. Love is not about control. Love is not about gaslighting. Love is clarity with compassion. Let conflict be lessons learned. When handled with wisdom, becomes instruction. It teaches us how to communicate better, love deeper, live stronger. Finally, reflection for you is simple. What is one behavior you can change today to handle conflict in a healthier way. I want you to think about that as we close today. What is one behavior you can change starting today to handle conflict in a healthier way in your life? I'm Dr. Darlene Williams-Prades. This has been Relationship Matters, because how we handle conflict determines the strength of every relationship we touch. Have a blessed and powerful day, and happy New Year. And thank you for listening. Talk soon.